The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 12th day of October, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Lindos. I'm Jamel Hartman. He's Philip Trott, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Phil, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great this morning. Morning, everybody. Good morning, Bermuda.
I heard the siren just now. The police coming.
Yeah. You know, what happens when you live right next to the street.
Yeah. I was just gonna say. I mean, Shiloh didn't tell on you or nothing, did he?
No. We have an understanding.
Oh, okay. So he's got his son on the manners, folks. He's not gonna tell on him. But hey, man, good to have you back. And we've got a conversation from today. But real quickly, Phil.
Yes.
Did you see Maya's conversation with the Honorable Curtis Dickinson?
Hey, man. Let me tell you something. I told Maya this already, right? But she's doing something right now. Right? Because not me, not 6 a.m.
Yeah. She's I don't like what I'm about to do because I don't want to put her in a box. She doesn't belong in a box. She doesn't. Okay. But because of the time we live in, you kind of have to use this box to explain to people.
Right. Okay.
But what you just said, 6 a.m. This young lady literally is doing what people think people her age don't do. She's going out and doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Work ethic. It's not just passion, it's the work ethic to get it done. And I don't say this just, you all knew I spoke very highly of Maya before she was a part of this team. I did. That's why well, she made us wait a year.
You talk trash about her now, but
yeah, this is true. This is true. I mean, that's because she don't laugh at my jokes. But I say this honestly, folks. You know, when we have people like her, we need to cherish them and support them. We need to support them as much as possible because passion don't last forever, especially when you don't have the support behind you. And that's why, you know, for me, I'm championing it. You know, LinkedIn is my go-to, right? I'm going to push it out, not just because, again, I don't push out things I don't believe in. If it's poor, I'm not doing it. Right. But I think because, first thing, and no disrespect to anyone, because many non-Bermudians have been very influential and helpful for me in this space. But one of the first things that my friend's late grandfather said to me when I got back to Bermuda in 2007 and began working at the radio stations, well, it's about time you've got some young Bermudians in the industry. Every time you turn on the news, it's a different accent. No, that didn't bother me, right? Because I was in the U.S. working in that space with it. Right. But 15 years on, we have a young lady that's leading a movement. And credit to Gary Foster Skelton as well, right?
Yes.
For his post yesterday, recognizing new media. Now, in the U.S., new media seems to be a bad term sometimes.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that too.
People that have these podcasts and all that. But, folks, you have got to be a fearless person with a huge work ethic at 25 years old, if she don't mind me saying her age, to be doing what she's doing. So
it's out there now.
I just want to honestly show love, give her some props for it. And if you haven't seen the conversation, how she was able to make she did something that I don't feel Mr. Dickinson did during our conversation, which is a different conversation.
Right.
The way that Maya got him so comfortable out of that zone, folks, you better go watch it.
Yeah, it was a good piece, man.
Even look what Charles is saying.
I was just gonna say that. Yep, the format.
Yeah, like the way she put him at ease, like that's psychological.
You know what? That's a skill too. You know, because you ever watch like interviews that say like Oprah would do and so forth. Like there is a skill, and like I'm trying to think of other people like Barbara Walters, you know, the famous interviewers and stuff. There's a skill to putting your guest at ease and allowing and getting them to open up and be honest and having them not feel like it's confrontational or they have to, you know, they can sit and relax, but you still get what you want out of it for your audience. Yeah, that takes. I don't know if I'm going to jump on your question, but I don't know if they teach that in school. You know,
well, you know what? Traveling Trotty says Maya did a great job and had an insightful interview. Thank you, Traveling Trotty. Well, anyway, greetings, everyone. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Edmund Johnson on the show. We're discussing the positives of martial arts. So the positive impact of martial arts today. The Daily Play is well, no, it's not. It's music today. It's music. Yeah, it's music. It's a very easy music question for you all.
I tend to get the music ones when I'm not on the air.
We will see, folks. We will see. Also, a big thank you to everyone who continues to support us. Thanks to Manuela John, the latest person to join our channel on YouTube. Please note that we'd love for you to sign up as well. You can just do so. Just hit join under the video if you're watching on YouTube. And become an official member of our channel. There are 3 levels with various benefits and perks, so we look forward to welcoming you on board. You can also enter the super chat where you can make donations if you so choose. It is appreciated. Well, you know what time it is, Phil, before we get to the question?
It's 8:07.
Oh, yeah, well, depending on where you are in the world. Wonder if Maya will do me a great favor and come in for a little pick me up.
Hey, really her eyes in the back.
All right.
Morning.
So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, they're ready. All right, here we go, folks. This one funny. Since we're talking about Maya, what is a cat's favorite TV show?
Muse.
He got it. The Evening News. Stop it. The Evening.
I'm embarrassed that I got that too.
Phil.
Well done.
See, Maya. See, I thought Maya would have got it. I thought I should have got it quickly because, you know, the animals are her thing. But
no, but you gave the hint was.
I said,
Maya, yeah.
Exactly. No. That's where your mind is anyway. Anyway, thank you all. We appreciate it. Look, let's check it out. We've got a question today, and I just want to set the tone. So the Royal Gazette reported that the Bermuda Tourism Authority refuses to share job advert for vacant CEO post. I'm sure that's nothing that can't be resolved with a little petty request, right? The Bermuda Tourism Authority has refused to share the job advertisement for its vacant and chief executive position, or say how many internal applicants have applied for the 6-figure salary post. All right, so the publicly funded Quango last month said it would fill its senior executive role internally, suggesting that the interim CEO, Tracy Berkeley, could be in line for the top job. But 2 sources queried whether the scope and criteria for the role have changed since the BTA advertised the position in 2021, because Miss Berkeley does not appear to meet a list of job requirements issued then. The authority declined to respond to questions from the Royal Gazette. Last year, prospective CEO candidates were sent a 6-page job specification by international headhunter Searchwide Global. And we've got some people saying applicants needed to have a bachelor's degree in business or a related and preferably an MBA. The job spec stated, as outlined in the 2013 Bermuda Tourism Authority Act, the CEO shall be a person with suitable qualifications and experience in management, finance, and the travel and tourism sector. Specific experience at the executive management level with prior experience for tourism, product development, destination marketing, and sales is preferred. It is understood that Ms. Berkeley, whose background is in human resources, does not have a degree, has not previously led an organization, and has no marketing experience. Well, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. So the question of the morning is very simple, folks. What careers do you believe a degree and related experience are necessary for key positions? What careers do you believe a degree and related experience are necessary for key positions? What areas? Speak to me. What are your thoughts? Bermuda Tourism Authority. I mean, do they need? Go ahead, Phil. I'm got my.
I'm trying. Well, first you said a degree and related experience. Let's define related experience.
I would think related experience. Let's use this case since we're talking about it.
Right.
You know, if according to this article, right, source said Ms. Berkeley has never worked in marketing. Right. The whole purpose of this organization, said organization, is a tourist destination marketing organization.
Right.
So if one doesn't have the related experience, well, what makes them the best candidate for the position? That would be related experience in this case, right?
So you're saying like maybe they don't have a degree in marketing, but they've had like experience marketing luxury or large destinations to an international audience or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would think related experience would be either an experience leading in destination marketing, luxury, maybe even a luxury hotel, or even finance, right? Like finance or banking, right? I believe Kevin Dallas came from a finance background. So, you know, what are your thoughts, folks? What career do you believe a degree and related experience are necessary for key positions?
I don't personally. I think you got to have one or the other. I think if you're going to come and step into a new role like that, then I think a degree is necessary. If you are one of those people who started, like say at the front desk and worked your way up to, you know, a middle management or senior management position, and you know you've seen every area of the organization, I don't think that should not having a degree should take you away from having the opportunity to run the organization, if that makes sense. Because something like that is going to take 10 years, 15 years, you know, and that's 15 years of experience. A college degree is what, 4 or 5 in my case?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you know?
8 in mine. We're not talking about us, Phil. We're not talking about us. But what careers do you believe a degree and related experience are necessary in key positions?
The doctor one is possible.
Yeah, we've got Sean Smith saying chief medical officer, and Nachika Traveling Trotty says emergency medical doctor. I think doctor's the easy one, right?
Doctor's the easy one. I would say teacher. You need a degree for that.
Well, I don't think all those people I learned from on YouTube have degrees, but
no,
that's just me.
But that's not okay. I'm talking, you know, formal education.
Oh, formal. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point, though.
Let's go through Sean DeShields and Stern Johnson.
Sean DeShields says, at a minimum, an MBA in hospitality, tourism, and international marketing is a must. And then Sloan says, my question would be, what is her current role in BTA, and what does her current experience bring to the table that may enhance the role? She's got another one. A degree proves that you have the ability to learn, not that you can actually do the job. Just saying.
Yeah.
Carla J, I agree with Sean. An MBA should be a minimum expectation unless you have a huge portfolio and demonstrated experience. And Sam Cat Play says marketing, management, and communications will get her job done, even if not at forefront experience is necessary. I had a question and I forgot it. Go ahead.
Well, I just, folks, I am in no way degrading formal education. Let me preface it by saying what I'm about to say. But I think Craig Simmons said it best last year that one of the solutions to many of our problems, especially economics, is going to be community colleges and 2-year degrees, right? Because what you're doing is you're getting people the necessary skills and pushing them out into the workforce, which once you do that, you have more people in our economy, taxes, so on. No, one must ask themselves, are any of us really doing jobs that we couldn't do without our degree? Ask yourself that. I will tell you, every last job I've had, I did not need any of my degrees to do. Any of my degrees to do.
But did the degree get you in the door though?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I honestly don't think my degrees got me in the door. I think you apply, you have a good interview. Look, what they say, a resume don't get you the job, a resume gets you the interview.
Right.
Right?
Fair enough.
The resume gets you the interview. Once you get the interview, you got to go in there and perform. Regardless of what your resume says, you have to make them believe you're a good fit that can improve and enhance the company, right? So I'm more on the side of, this is the key right here. Teresa and Marie just said it. Proven experience is essential for key positions in most fields. So for me, I'm throwing the degree in the trash. I want to know, what's your track record? I want to be hired based on what I've proven in other spaces that I've been in. And if you have no proven experience, and when I say proven, if you have no experience that has shown that you've led organizations so that you've improved the sales or marketing or whatever it is.
Yeah, have something to show.
Why are you in this position? So for me, I'm not necessarily stuck on a degree aspect.
Right.
But I am very much interested in the proven, not related, but the proven experience. You know, I use this example all the time. You know, you've got people say, oh, well, I have 20 years experience in banking.
Right.
Okay. During that 20 years in banking,
how did you improve the company or the department?
Yeah. How did the company fare? Because if during your 20 years in the bank, revenues decreased,
people closing accounts,
like you lost clients, that doesn't bode well for you. But see, right. we think like that. We have been made to believe that a college degree and having a job for a long time means that we're good at something. Trust me, there are a lot of people who have been in positions for a very long time and at certain employers. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you've been at your employer for a long time, chances are you do just enough so that they don't fire you, or you do just enough because you need the job and you don't want to leave, or you have a specific skill set in a small place like Bermuda where you probably couldn't go elsewhere. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use Balco, for instance. Someone who's in engineering. How many other places, are there any real utility companies you can go? Right? There's not as many.
Right.
There's smaller ones.
Right.
Right.
It's nothing as big as Balco, though. Yeah.
Correct. Let's go back to the audience, because I think we skipped quite a few.
Charles got a good one.
What careers do you believe a degree and related experience are necessary for key positions? Go ahead, Phil.
Charles H. Jeffers asks about what about a skilled musician or artist who doesn't have a degree? Can they not teach? I think they could teach. I think when you teach, though, a lot of times you got to make sure that making sure that you teach the fundamentals is important. So if you have a grasp, if you don't have a degree in teaching music, but you know the fundamentals and you can teach the fundamentals, then, you know.
Sean DeShields makes an interesting comment. also international work experience at the executive level in a similar role. But I'll use myself as an example, and I take his point, right? Because there's a big difference between executive level in Bermuda, which I've been, and executive level in the US. I actually have never wanted, and I've been very clear with like my employers here, I don't want executive level experience in the US. And I'll be very direct and honest with you all why. Most of the companies I work for are, and I'm just going to say it, they're run by white people who I don't align with necessarily. So I can work for you, but leading people under the company is very different. And I've been very frank with them. Like, I have no interest in becoming an exact C-suite executive in this organization, because for me, running a company and owning a company, I'm able to provide those who work under my company with things that I feel are in their best interest. Running someone else's company and doing that,
okay.
I don't feel like I have the same freedom. So I don't believe, if I was, let's say I was overseeing Phil and Maya under, let's say, Bermuda Telecommunications Media Group, right? And it was owned by Michael Dunkley. And I'm under Michael Dunkley, I have to do certain things, I have to do whatever. And they only give me a budget of such and such to pay you guys. Well, in my heart of hearts, if I don't feel comfortable paying you guys what they're suggesting, I couldn't do that job. That's my challenge with executive level in the US per se. It just doesn't bode well with my conscience.
Gotcha.
Let's go back to the comments. Do you believe what areas do you believe a degree and related experience are necessary? What are you saying, folks? Okay, Sheikh Arena saying there are several people in Bermuda who have held multiple top marketing roles who do not have marketing degrees. Very true.
I know. And that's why I was thinking. I have one person that comes to mind. I don't want to put him out there, but he knows who he is.
Samcat Play says the degree gets you the money start sometimes. Man, you go like, these retail jobs and like department stores be asking for, they ask for like a bachelor's degree. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You're literally asking someone to put themselves in hundreds of thousands of debt
to go work retail
position. And no disrespect to retail. I'm not dissing it. What I'm saying is a retail job that's going to pay them, what, $30,000 at that plus commissions? That's not fair, man. That's not fair. Let's go through these last few comments. Sloan Johnson says, it's all about who you surround yourself with. Anika DeShield says, there are many people that study well and get degrees, but practically are not good in the roles they have degrees in. She goes on to say, as an example, we bring in many qualified accountants that have never worked in industries we have in Bermuda, financial services versus manufacturing. The expertise is vastly different. Well, folks, that's your question of the morning. Let's bring Maya in. I wonder if she's learned more being in, in the field, like doing what she did with Mr. Curtis Dickinson versus being in school. And she's closer to school age because her college experience was probably very different from, Phil and I's.
Every time you bring in Maya, you talk about how she's young and what old, man.
I don't
they
say
know.
World. I don't say world. You speak for yourself.
They know already.
Good morning. Good morning. This is the Daily Hour Newsbreak brought to you by People's Pharmacy.
Good morning, Maya.
All right, Maya. So as I was saying, you most recently of us three, you were in college the most recently. You don't have to rub it in. Speak to us. Do you feel, based on what you're doing right now, do you think you'd be able to do it at the level that you do it without going to college?
No, I don't think I would have. I think I wouldn't have the confidence that I have right now to do it, because I noticed when I was doing internships when I came back from university and things like that, and even throughout my high school experience, also doing internships. I got the internships with the Gazette as well and Bar News and everyone basically. And so I remember being in those spaces and finding out that a lot of the people there didn't have degrees. And I started questioning if I should get mine or not. But because nobody else did that I spoke to, except for Jasmine Patterson, that's the only other journalist I know, right now that I can speak of. And so I was just like, no, I need to get my degree. And I felt like it was necessary because I didn't think that I was going to be taken seriously enough
Seriously.
as well, moving into this field even more. And then even so, when I started Media Maya, I remember getting some emails and questions were like, well, what are your qualifications anyway? Who are you to start this and say it? So I'm like, well, I'm glad I have my degree because getting those type of comments and feedbacks and emails weren't pleasant, but it was, I was glad I got it.
Interesting. And makes sense. Especially being, going out on your own so early. I guess credibility, part of people feeling like you're credible, it does matter. Folks, I mean, what is your degree in, Phil, if you don't mind?
My degree is in graphic design.
Okay.
Bachelor of Arts in graphic design with a minor in information systems, computer information systems.
Okay. And what's your degree in, Maya?
Mine is a bachelor's with honors in journalism and a minor in English.
I didn't have this. I didn't have this honors.
You didn't see the, you noticed I didn't say honors.
I don't know what honors is. I mean, honor roll once in my life, folks. Once.
I was honorable.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And the degree is right here, just so I remember. I paid enough money for that. It better be hanging up behind me.
Oh, you know what? I had a question before. I don't want to take the do you need a degree to go and get an MBA, or can you just go get an MBA?
As where I went to school, we had to have a degree to do it.
Okay.
I know.
I feel like that excludes people.
Yeah, I think there's these programs now where you have people that are going to do like different MBA like courses, I guess. I know I went to school with some people from Germany who they had specified.
They probably had like an equivalent.
Yeah, it weren't necessarily a bachelor's, but they just went to do their MBA. That said, I mean, audience, while Maya's doing the news, let us know what are your what are your degrees in? We'd want to know what our audience have degrees in, if at all. Sean DeShield says you have to have a bachelor's degree first to do an MBA. Sloan Johnson says you need a bachelor's to get an MBA, but some schools now accept experience.
Okay.
Of course, credits. So different answers to MCAT place. Well, I since you guys didn't ask, I'll share. I have a couple of associate's degrees. I have one in computerized business management, which is pretty much just administrative. And then I have an associate's degree in video and radio production. And then I have a bachelor's degree in business management. And then I have a master's, MBA with MBA in global business leadership with a concentration in leadership, I guess.
Jeez,
I can't remember.
So much
that
to
stuff.
remember. Yeah, too much to remember.
I don't even know where my degree. Like I think it's in storage, but I don't know. I'll have to.
What's in storage?
I don't know, like, because I've moved so much. Anyway, Maya, we got to get to your news break. I'm taking up all your time. What you got for us in the news?
Before I get to news, I do just want to say that I don't necessarily think a degree is always essential or important. I think networking is way better. Now that I've learned that in my years. But okay, so here we are for the news right now. Collectors Hill Esso gas station in Devonshire was robbed on Monday night. The incident occurred around 10 p.m. on the 10th of October. Information is the suspect rode into the parking lot on a dark-colored motorcycle and approached a staff member who was standing behind the cashier counter and demanded money. The staff member noticed that the suspect placed their hands in their waist region as if reaching for something. However, no weapon was seen and no one was injured. The suspect escaped with a quantity of cash and rode off on a motorbike he arrived on, heading in the westerly direction. On South Road, the suspect described as slim-built, 6 foot 1 inch tall, and was wearing black clothing, black bubble jacket, and black helmet, and a mask, and gray gloves. If anyone has any information, they're asked to call 211 or contact the acting detective sergeant Whitney Wilkinson.
So hold on, they robbed the gas station when it was closing?
Yeah, 10 p.m. is one of the time that they're closing. And they said it was around that time.
You see, did they have any camera footage or anything that they released?
That's my gas station. Like I go there almost all the time, and I know there's
most of them do. I think
most of them do, but I can't quite recall now that I'm thinking about it.
And I was just thinking about like how they get the because most of those, if you notice by the door, remember they got that thing that measures your height, so they can. If somebody's walking past that, they can say, "Oh, your boy's 6'1" or something like that."
I was going to say how they did that.
Yeah, it's like a ruler thing right next to the door. I'm glad everybody's okay though.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Next on the docket, Lindo's manager, Zach Monis, discussed when we'll see the price reduction since the Premier's announcement of the 21 essential items that will no longer have duty on them. I spoke to him yesterday, and here's some things he had to say.
Any reduction in the direct costs of which duty is one of an item is going to reflect on the shelf. So if everything stays the same, the base cost coming out of the US and the shipping charges stay the same, and duty comes off, the price is going to be cheaper on the shelf. So it is going to be a win for the consumer in this case. So even if the base costs go up and shipping charges go up, you will still be paying less than what you would have had the duty been applied. And then I'll apply a further discount from the store, which will take that price even lower for the consumer. So I think it's a win.
And do you think that this took too long to happen?
It's very challenging right now. And I've stated before, I would not want to be in government in Premier Burt and Minister Derek Burgess's position, because it is a very difficult, challenging position in one that we are nearly powerless to do anything about. Yes, we could have done, you could have reduced the duty earlier, but that's also revenue for Bermuda that is severely in debt. So you've got to sort of pick your targets and try to be as effective as you can be without bankrupting us.
Any results from these duty changes from you personally, do you think?
So I'm anticipating having some things, or really 31 items, as an essential target by November 1st. In full force. Like, you'll see them highlighted on the shelf as essential items, and you'll see what the regular price is, what the new special price is, and what the percentage savings are on that item, which will be at least 10% off the regular retail price.
I'm happy for that, and credit to the government, David Burt, Premier of Bermuda, and the government for making this move. I'm just gonna say it shouldn't take an election to do things like this if you're able to do them. So credit to them for doing this, and Zach for explaining what people can expect at the checkout line. What else you got for us, Maya?
Up next, Operation Vega update from Robert Caldwell, the Chief Inspector, Technical Operations Unit. Reports say that there's a progression in the lesser road offenses, which is great. It's important to note that speeding in these reports range from 59 kilometers per hour to 95 kilometers per hour. There's a list of 16 different offenses. Some reductions to note from the previous period is speeding had 87 less offenses. Disobeying traffic signs had 74 less offenses, and the one that I'm most passionate about, unbuckled helmets, had 10 less offenses. And Chief Inspector Caldwell says that he's also quite concerned about the number of uninsured and unlicensed vehicles on the island.
That's progress. I mean, again, it's still a long way to go, but that's progress. And so credit to the police if it's less offenses. If anything, if we're taking one less, that's progress, I'd say.
And my last thing here, there was a statement put out last night from the PLP party. Is given that there has been intense speculation in the public domain regarding the sharing of the Progressive Labour Party Annual General Conference 2022 delegates list with candidates for the party leader and deputy leader, please note the following information regarding the delegates list and when everyone got their full list. So it says on October 3rd at 3:20 p.m., the full list went out to Curtis Dickinson. And then at the same time, it also went out to Minister Renee Ming. And then on that same day, October 3rd, but at 7:17 p.m., the full list of delegates went out to MP Curtis Dickinson again, because he said that he didn't get that initial email. So he sent it at 3, says he didn't got it at 7:17. And then on October 4th, the next day, both Premier David Burt and the deputy leader got their full list of delegates at 10 a.m. on October 4th. And they're saying they're hoping that these clarities help to prove that, there's no unfair disadvantage.
What else you got for us? Anything in the weather?
The weather today, because I did forget, guys, I'm not gonna lie. talking to you guys. So the weather today, I can let you know
It's
right
sunny.
now. It's looking sunny right now, yes, but hang on. Today is plenty of sunshine, a chance of light morning showers though, so still be cautious on the road. And we have a high of 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
We had
Right.
some good rain lately.
Yeah.
We have had
well,
a lot of rain, yeah.
Maya, we'll see you next week, Monday.
See you next week, Monday.
All right. Have a wonderful time off. We will see you then. Oh,
Yeah,
hold
man.
on. We got days of the year first, don't we?
Oh yeah, I forgot too. It's right here though.
Yet? What is it?
Today's day of the year is Emergency Nurses Day. So why do emergency nurses warrant special appreciation? Well, quite simply because they make a huge difference to the sick, injured, and even dying people every single day. They offer vital assistance and support. Nursing as a profession requires a special level of compassion, and nurses working in hospitality emergency wards face numerous difficulties is early during the working life, yet still return every day to provide crucial care for those who need it the most. So send some love out to your nurses today, especially the ones working in the emergency areas of the hospital. They helped me a lot when I was in there, and it's definitely not an easy job, as we all know. So happy Emergency Nurses Day.
He just looks like he broke a bone. Give him a hard time.
I did. Yeah.
No, shout out to all the nurses out there. Maya, have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
All right, folks.
See you later, man.
Edmund Johnson coming up. We're talking about, when I was young, everyone spoke about going to karate or taekwondo or martial arts to learn how to fight. But it's so much more than that. And we're going to talk with Edmund Johnson when we come back. You don't want to miss this conversation, folks. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Philip Trout, I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Don't forget, folks, sign up for membership. Just hit the button to join. Well, it's the join button to become an official member of our channel. There are 3 levels with various benefits and perks. We look forward to welcoming you aboard and growing with you even more. Also, if you want you can enter a super chat when you make your comments or questions, and you have donations as low as $2. Every little bit helps and is appreciated. Without further ado, we've got a guest coming in. Let's get the audience ready, because our audience, sometimes we can't hear them when they get back. So we've got, our in studio audience. Let's bring them in with a big round of applause. Let's bring them in. Glad to have you. Welcome, sir. How are you, Mr. Edmund Johnson? Oh, it's Master Edmund Johnson.
Say again?
Master Edmund Johnson, correct?
Yes, Master Edmund Johnson. Yes, I'm a Taekwondo master.
Oh.
See, I've done a little research. No, but honestly, thank you for doing this. And before we came on air, you said you and your wife watch every day, so we love you back already just for that, man. We appreciate the support. But as I stated, I said it jokingly, but when I was in school, so many people that spoke about martial arts, karate, taekwondo, whatever they chose to call it at the time, it was always the idea of learning how to fight, right? Like, but there's so much more to it. But just to start this conversation, just explain to people what martial arts actually is.
Okay, so martial arts basically is a series of fighting systems that were developed to either promote culture or defend nations. So in history, every nation had a martial art. If it was, Africa, they had some Zulu styles. If it was Brazil, they had capoeira, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Japan, Okinawa karate. Korea, taekwondo, hapkido, tangsudo. So in a nutshell, these are systems that were developed to both, one, control the masses, because you still needed people to defend and or restrain criminal activity. So that's pretty much how martial arts began.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. I'm having my little exposure to martial arts too. I did taekwondo in high school, Jamal. You didn't know that.
No, I did.
I did capoeira when I came back to Bermuda for a couple years, and then
I remember when you did capoeira.
Yeah, I wasn't sharp. We don't need to go into that.
That's how I talk to Phil.
Good thing you live in Florida, mate.
Yeah.
All right, so Edmund, for those that don't know, just give us some insight into your background on how you got involved in martial arts.
So, so I actually started martial arts when I was about 14. I was in Cedar Bridge Academy, and there was a police officer offering free classes, right? At the time, we wasn't, like my mom, we really wasn't doing too well. So these classes were free. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna take advantage of it because it was a free class. My mom didn't have to pay for anything. So, the officer at the time, it's actually Colin Painter. He's my first instructor. I went to his class. I trained with him for about 2 years. And then when he wanted to pursue his police career, he dropped me off to Myron Birchall. And then from there, I got my black belt on the Myron Birchall. I opened up my own school in 2002. So I've been teaching for about 20 years. And the rest is history. Now I have a school in St. Vincent. We have affiliate schools in the States. And we have an affiliate school in Uganda. So that's pretty much my journey.
Wow.
I did not know that. That's very impressive, man.
Yeah, we had to branch out. I mean, Bermuda, because there's no guns in Bermuda, the quality of martial arts is obviously going to be a lot higher.
Okay.
Because guns are illegal, right?
Right. I got you. Makes sense. So I guess following on from that, how has martial arts impacted your life as a person?
Oh man, if it wasn't for martial arts training and discipline, I either wouldn't have the job that I have. I probably wouldn't be married, right? Because structure, once you start training, you understand structure, you understand how to either compose yourself or organize your emotions, right? So you don't want to say compartmentalize, but you learn how to organize those emotions so that you're not acting out. You really think before you act, that sort of thing.
Okay. Nice, man. So all right. So like I have a young son. I'm always thinking about which activities to get him involved in. We looked at football, looked at gymnastics as well. What would you say some of the positives that a young person can learn from martial arts?
Well, first things first, we always say, oh, they learn discipline. Not actually. The discipline part of it starts at home. So it's often a partnership between the parent and the instructor. When you compare
Where have I heard that before? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, when you compare martial arts to other sports, most martial artists who teach martial arts, right, most instructors, they're not, I wouldn't say they're not into the same thing as the football coaches will be into, but the behaviors are different, and the social structure is different, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not based on, in a martial arts school, you're never going to hear, hey, that guy's dumb, put him on the bench. You wouldn't hear those sort of things.
Right. Yeah, because I got to be honest, like that's some of the stuff that turned me off when I was, that's why I can't play football now. That type of reinforcement just don't work with me.
Right. And that's when we get into the whole, toxic masculinity thing. Like, you would think that in a martial arts environment, you would find a lot of bravado, but it's actually not. Once people understand violence, once you understand that there's two types of violence, you really don't even want to fight, right? So you have unconsensual violence and consensual violence. So unconsensual violence is the theory that I walk up to Jamal, kick him in the face, take his money. He didn't see it coming. That's unconsensual. He didn't agree to it. Then we have consensual violence, which is almost like dueling. We come to the dojang or the dojo, we agree to spar. We're not trying to hurt each other. Or it's meet me by the palm tree, walk 10 paces, and we agree to do.
Yeah. I'm glad we don't do that no more.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a new event. Well, I don't say new, but you have an event coming up now, Shoto Cup. Just tell the audience about Shoto Cup. How did it come about, and how does it different from your traditional tournament? Because I know what I look for when I see like a martial arts tournament, but I'm not familiar with Shoto Cup. So just explain that to us.
So Shoto Cup came about from a family member of mine who's also a martial arts instructor. Asking, he said, I really want to do a tournament. And I said, okay. So he ordered some medals, and I looked at the medals, and I was like, well, I don't think that's gonna fly. So and his a bit up in the age, he's up in the 60s. So I was like, look, how about you let me handle this? So we decided that Shoto Cup should be more or less a technology company that manages martial arts. So from the graphics, videography, get an actual real award. So, back in the day when you went to a martial arts tournament, it was on a Sunday. There weren't any mats on the floor. It was, the judges came dressed however they wanted. So you really wanted to change that and kind of lift the standard a bit. Just, just putting in 10% effort made martial arts better in Bermuda in the last 3 years.
I want to go back because you spoke about how you've grown it, right? And beyond Bermuda, how many children in Bermuda do you currently have, though, under your instruction or your company doing martial arts? Because again, I want to touch on a few things. One, how many people you have in Bermuda before you grew beyond Bermuda? Two is, how have you been able to develop and maintain that relationship with the parents when it comes to discipline as well? Because there's something went around on WhatsApp last week about, it was like some rules for parents watching their children play football, like don't yell at the ref, don't yell at the coach, this and that. And speak about how you even maintain those relationships and the positive atmosphere for the young people that are in.
So what we do, we teach the children affirmations, right? So every time they come in class, they say the tenets of Taekwondo: courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. The parents are watching, so the parents are actually learning at the same time. And it's kind of ingrained in stone once a parent hears you use your voice as a tool. So we always say, I'm not shouting at the child or shouting at a group of kids. We're going to use our voices as tools, because if you don't tell them that, either the parent's going to think, hey, you're shouting at my child, or the child's going to be like, well, I'm never seeing somebody, they'll associate, me as being, okay, he's big, black, and angry. So we use affirmations to kind of train the parents and the students. And it even works for outside of Bermuda. When we first went into St. Vincent, it was almost like the Wild Wild West, right? Because you had, it was just wild.
Yeah. So, and how many, we have a question from the audience. And audience, if you have any questions or comments, please just send them through. But how many students do you currently have in Bermuda?
So in Bermuda, we have registered about 100, training about 80.
Wow.
So that's in my club. And then we obviously have other clubs around the island.
Okay. And what is the cutoff age for someone to start martial arts? That's what Sean Smith's asking.
To start, 107.
Well, there you go. You're not
the cutoff age to start, yeah.
Sharon's not even too old. Phil, you had a question?
Why? You know what? I'm going to talk to you after. So just to go back to Shoto Cup. So Shoto Cup is more a system of managing the tournaments, not so much a tournament itself.
Right. So Shoto Cup is the brand, and then we manage and promote different events underneath that banner. So we have, like this weekend, we have our Carter Classic. That was the first event that we ever did. We actually did that event on a shoestring budget at MSA, but the videographer was so good. People were asking, like, is that even in Bermuda? So we had to use some technical wizardry to kind of pump it up before we got our venue where we host our events now, which is Whitney Institute.
Okay.
And speak to parents, like Phil mentioned, he's got his young son. Parents who they're at that, got children at an age where they don't know what to put them in. Why would martial arts, particularly training with you, why would what are some of the positives that you can say, bring them here, this is what they're gonna be able to walk away with?
Oh, well, one, our programs are very structured, so you know what they're getting from point A to point B. We don't practice any mysticism, so you're not going to come there and not going to tell your child, learn death touch in 2 classes. So there's no mysticism, and it's a fun atmosphere, right? So like I said, again, everything's very structured. And with girls, we have female instructors, and that's one thing that you pretty much didn't see in Bermuda for a long time. But we've been able to develop our teen program to a point where we actually have some of our teens teaching.
And I know you mentioned capoeira, so that's Brazilian. I have a friend that participated in it, and it's like, is it like gymnastics kind? Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm literally.
So you do have a subset of martial arts called XMA, right? Extreme martial arts in America is very popular. The only problem is, outside of America, it doesn't really merit what we're trying to do as traditional martial artists because it promotes more performance than presence, right? So you want your presence to be known as either good person, a structured individual, but that type of style, it's kind of short-lived.
We've got a lot of people in the audience. Anika De Shields is asking, what is the ratio of male to female students?
So most schools is about 60-40.
Okay, 60-40. That's not bad. Who knew? Larry Marshall Jr., he says, good day, Master Johnson. Mason, we'll see you Saturday. Great fun program. So I guess my godson comes to check you out. He's a part of it.
Yeah, Mason's actually my cousin, man. I have about 2 wrinkles here that developed from Mason. But he's learning though, he's having fun.
Oh, he's busy, man. He's a busy young fella. Sloan Johnson says, shout out to Talia Iris, 2022 Shoto Cup Female Athlete of the Year. So you had a Female Athlete of the Year.
Right. So what we did this year, because like I said, Shoto Cup is almost like a technology company as well. We were collecting stats and data on every athlete. So at the end of the year, we actually had an award ceremony. Because we finally said, we need to validate these guys because they've been working hard. They came out post-COVID and lockdown. So it was hard for martial arts schools like gyms to survive during COVID. And these guys came out, and the tournaments were also like enrollment festivals too, right? So if you came out and you was a female, you saw Talia competing, more than likely her class has probably got a bump in enrollment.
Right. And Talia, she's been on the scene for
years.
Years. I don't want to. If I say the number of years, then
it's 30. It's about 30.
Okay, 30. So I didn't want to put, because then you could calculate and see how old she is.
No, I think what all the same age. I think we're in our last year of our 30s. I think you guys are like what, 44, 43?
Oh, 44, 43.
I mean 40.
Bruh, I can't fight, but
Phil closer to that, but yeah.
I could slide tackle. Okay.
We've got Sam B asking, when and where is Shoto Cup?
Okay, so the next Shoto Cup event is on Saturday, October 16th at Whitney Institute at around 10 a.m.
Okay. All right. And Sloan Johnson says Shoto Cup also brings in international instructors to conduct seminars for local martial artists. When do these seminars take place?
So we actually just did one about 2 weeks ago. We brought in Brandon Abdallah from the US. This guy, great coach, great representation because he looks like you and I. And that was a big thing. I didn't want to bring in anybody that didn't reflect, what we look like in Bermuda. And also it was cheaper to bring somebody in than to beg government for money you know, to send 5 people away to train. I'm like, you could just bring one person in to train 200 people. It's a bit more fiscally responsible. But we have another seminar coming up November 27th with Brian Hilliard, who's actually a U.S. team member. So we're working closely with a lot of the U.S. teams, like the U.S. Olympic team, to actually help Bermuda raise the standard.
All righty. And before you jet out, let people know how they can connect with you to learn more, maybe sign the children up.
Okay, so for my own club, you can go to taekwondo.bm, all the information's there, or you could go to our Instagram, which is BarmyTKD. And for Shoto Cup, just visit shotocup.com. It's all our event photos are there, our registration, and you can see a timeline of events as well.
All right, Master Edmund Johnson, helpful conversation. I'm thinking of the fitness stuff. I really want to, I guess, learn a bit more of, because I'm trying to think, what's his name? Ivan that they kept it there.
Yeah, Ivan, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. You know, he had asked me like, "Hey, would you be interested?" I'm like, "I don't know if I'm got it in me to do it." It just looked beyond my capabilities at the time. But I remember watching my mate Johnny, and he was just
Johnny. Yep, remember Johnny?
He was good. He made it look easy. I've got one more for you. B. Denise Hollis says, I put my son in Taekwondo when he was 5. He was very good, and the teachings benefited him on a whole. Unfortunately, he stopped due to a conflict with other sports that he did. Before you go, I know we were supposed to let you go.
That's cool.
Before you go, how I mean, that's one thing that a lot of parents have to deal with. As children get older, schedules start conflicting, right? Is there a season to this where, like football, is going to be in a certain period?
We run our classes all year round, right? But what we do see, oftentimes, the parent quits before the child, right? So that's kind of a running theme right now, where you have a kid that's so good, but the parents, they got to work, they got to drop the child this place, that place. So the parent will lose interest. You know, they say, well, you could go next week, and next week turns into next year. So, yeah.
Interesting. Master Edmund Johnson, thank you so much for being, trusting our platform to have this conversation. Keep the information flowing, because if you have anything coming up, we'd be happy to let our audience know. And please know anything else coming up, you are more than welcome to return. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, you guys.
All right, have a great one, man. Yeah. All right, folks. Edmund Johnson, photo. I'm saying, hey, why do I keep saying Shoto Cup? Shoto Cup.
It looks like photo, yeah.
The Shoto Cup. I'm following them on, I believe that's their Instagram, at Shoto Cup BDA. Check them out. If you appreciated that conversation, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Share these conversations, folks. What I like about this, something he said that stands out to me the most, it's about that discipline. And you actually repeated, where have you heard this before? He said, everyone thinks it's about, coming and learning discipline. No, discipline starts at home. It's the relationship between the parent and them. Like,
say the same thing about teaching.
That's why, exact. And Phil, if you heard Phil said, where else have we heard that before? So keep that in mind, because I've heard that for years. People saying, oh, it teaches you so much discipline. Discipline cannot happen if it's not happening at the place where that person lays their head. Keep that in mind.
Said that about regiment too, huh? We're not going there. Go to commercial break.
Don't get me started. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be back to wrap it up, folks. Don't go anywhere.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system, providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, There's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
I'm part of the SSCP, giving us opportunities to go out and sell, which is what I'm doing today.
One of the most important things I learned in the SSCP is that failure is just a part of being an entrepreneur.
As a vote community, then you can't go anywhere, can you? I just believe it's a really beautiful and amazing experience for everybody.
A lot of late nights being up trying to finalize things, especially for me.
You don't have to do everything at once. Little steps is the key to success.
They helped me go through every step of the way.
It has helped me gain more confidence, so that's one thing.
I'm Marley Spriggs and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Joshua Allen and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Trey Robertson Richards and I am an entrepreneur. My name is Namira Rayner and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Vincent Darrell and I am an entrepreneur.
I'm Shayla Swan and I'm an entrepreneur.
I am Sophia Pasenhan. I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Zion and I'm a young entrepreneur.
All right. Thanks again to Master Edmund Johnson. Shoto Cup, folks. Shoto Cup. Follow at Shoto Cup BDA. Thank you so much for that conversation. I always appreciate things about sports, especially. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Lindos for ensuring we're able to do this with you on a regular basis. I want to just go back to the degrees. So we've got Anika DeShields, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Major Accounting Cum Laude. Or what was that? Cum Laude?
I never knew how to put it. It wasn't important to me because I didn't get one.
I weren't on that level, Phil, so I don't know how to pronounce all these great things. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, Associate Degree in Small Business and Associate's Degree in Multimedia and Web Design. So that's kind of like you, right, Phil?
I think he probably went further in the web design part. Mine was more.
So it's a difference between graphic and web design and multimedia.
Mine at the time, because it was so long ago, mine was more in print. But I get into the web. See, that's funny what you said. Mm-hmm. I don't have any formal experience in web design, but I know a lot more about it now. You know what I mean?
Traveling Charlie, Bachelor's in Mathematics, Master's, and MBA. We've got NTS, BA, and a Master's in Accounting. Anika DeShields, certified as a chartered professional accountant. We've got Carla J. I have a diploma in hotel and restaurant management, BS in health and physical education, and Master's in education. My educational journey is all over the place. I thought it was just mine. Yeah, you all got some degrees out there. You have some degrees. All right, it's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0, great taste, no alcohol, and Bermuda Trivia, now available throughout stores in the island. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Phil, are you ready?
I'm more ready when I'm behind the scenes, off camera, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, folks, here we go. It's music today. This is the easiest one. See, Shara's going to start saying when people she's not on that easy. Here we go. What was Mary J. Blige searching for?
Real love.
Honestly, folks, you saw me. I literally just picked it out. So I did not know what card it was going to be. Sherry, I did not set this up. Trust me. I pick out of this box. Phil got it. Mary J. was searching for some real love. Phil, final thoughts on the conversation about degrees, related experience, and then the focus with Master Edmund Johnson.
I don't like I get wary about the talk about degrees because people take that conversation and say, see, you don't need college, you don't need school. Yeah. And I don't think that's not, like, I would never, as expensive as college is, I would never tell somebody to not go to college. I just say, know what you're going to college for. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you can't afford it, don't put yourself into debt going to college, like stupid debt.
I concur.
You know, so let's not go into down this slope of, you don't need education. You don't need some stuff you need education for, right? So let's just be honest with ourselves. But I think it's a great conversation. As far as the martial arts conversation, man, like, look, it was great when I was in it. My knee right now would beg to differ, but I didn't hurt my knee in martial arts, by the way. I hurt it trying to play sports, but I would definitely encourage anybody to get involved with the martial arts scene, especially in Bermuda. I did have a question about the different styles, because we talk about karate, we talked about taekwondo, but you got capoeira, you got kung fu as well, and I just wondered how they all interact with the tournaments, like if Shoto Cup manages that type of stuff as well. Anyway,
sounds like we'll have to have another conversation.
Definitely, man.
I'll just say this much about the degree part. I think people take it as we're dismissing formal education, and that's not necessarily so. All we're saying is, honestly, I think we need to consider more than just formal education. What is related experience? Perfect question by Phil. What do we qualify it as? Is it moving goalposts? I do believe there needs to be certain requirements for certain positions, especially in I know we spoke about doctors, but especially taxpayer-funded positions. I think there need to be certain requirements, not requirements to weed people out specifically, but requirements to ensure that we have people with proven experience in these spaces to get Bermuda where it needs to be. As far as Master Edmund Johnson, I appreciate it so much about the conversation. What I got was a sense of a belief, a sense of discipline, a sense of really trying to make a difference in the lives of others through martial arts. And so my hope is that folks, you hit them up. As Sloan Johnson just says, bring your son, Phil. And all styles are represented by Photoshop. The last tournament included karate and kung fu. All right, you've got some daily inspiration for us, Phil?
Yeah, man. A couple things. I do want to also shout out Medical House, because today is Wednesday.
Oh yes.
You remember? So all right. So daily inspiration. Do you remember Angela Lansbury?
Yeah, Murder She Wrote Lady.
Murder She Wrote Lady passed yesterday, right? So our daily inspiration today is inspired by her. It's a quote. She said, "It's better to be busy than to be busy worrying." So that's our inspiration.
I say this respectfully. I thought she had passed a long time ago.
Now she was 96, man.
She had a good inning, man. I just remember her from Murder. Was that like the only show that came on at Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, that was beating out these stories at one point.
Yeah, I remember. Everybody's now watching that, but hey. Gotta roll out, folks. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Friday, as there is no live show tomorrow. He's Philip Trott. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, make it a safe and a great next couple of days. We're out. Not my fault.